Baker J. Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska insider today.
Are your feet just killing you and you feel like all hope is lost? Say goodbye to discomfort and hello to pain relief at Brown's Shoe Fit. They offer expert advice along with high-quality products to help you find the right solution tailored to your specific needs. Need a different width? Not a problem. Brown's carries a wide range of widths in store. Brown's Shoe Fit on 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to it on a Tuesday. It is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Foreman got a little delayed with an appointment. Bad Lincoln traffic. Never tell me it's not bad. He will be along before too long. But until then, we got the black shirt, the Husker Hall of Famer, the man who looks smart even with his glasses on top of his head. Terrell Farley. What's up, Farley? Thanks for sticking around.
Nothing much. I wanted to wait around. I'm waiting on Jay. I got a couple of bows to the head I want to give him for his texting me today. You know, thought we was friends. You know, we not grew up, but we played linebacker together for 2 years. I would thought we would have a better kind of friendship than.
When you've worked together for more than 2 years now, right?
Yeah. 3 years now. Going on my third year at the Ticket. Take fourth. I don't know yet.
I will hit year 3 in January for me.
Yeah. Me?
For me, personally.
3
Mine
for
was
you?
January.
Yeah.
3 in January.
Was you at the old building?
Just barely. I got there in January and we were here in September.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit ahead of you. But
you are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. How was your weekend, Austin?
It was great. It was good. A lot of family time. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Saturday was a busy errands sort of day. Picked up a dresser, a couple nightstands for baby number 2's room. Sunday had a little Labor Day get together with my family and the in-laws up in Omaha. That was a blast. A lot of fun with all the family up there. So yeah, no, absolutely no complaints. Little man was a trooper through it all. He's running, he's talking, he's jumping, he's laughing. I mean, I'm sure you know this with your granddaughter, Trout. I mean, just seeing those little ones experience stuff for the first time. They learn how to do something new. They finally listen to you. Oh, it's incredible.
Well, it doesn't sound like you had any time for football, Austin.
I had a little bit of time for football, mostly monitoring on my phone. But no, after the Husker game, it's not that I was checked out of football, but you know, had stuff to do. It was on in the background. Of course, I had the volleyball game on in the background. And in case anyone wants to say I'm not a team player, I watched the first 2 sets, not, hardcore, but I was at least in the living room for them. It's like, okay, well, they're down 2-0. I'm going to walk away, go do something else. I didn't come back until I think it was like 8-4 or 9-4 in the 5th set. So
who they play?
Kentucky.
Oh, they was down?
They was down 2-0.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Lost the first one, what was it, 26-24? And then the one after that, I think 25-20, and then chipped away. And then they were up pretty big in the fifth set. Kentucky made a little bit of a run toward the end to get back into it. But no, Huskers pulled it out in Nashville.
That's a good one. Didn't know that.
Eric on our text line says, isn't there a saying something along the lines of, with friends like you, who needs enemies? Is that Jay Foreman to you?
No, that's not Jay Foreman. We know who that is, so we're not going to say any names, but we know who that guy is. Yeah, we know who says that well.
Cubsker says, got to spend my Sunday at the K watching Tarek Skubal dominate. Sorry, Austin. Well, he was kind of due. The Royals had won the previous two starts that Tarek Skubal had against them throughout the course of the year, so he was bound to get one over on the Royals. Playoff push continues here again today. Big week for the Royals. Got some ground to make up. The Angels in town for 3, then the Twins in town for 3. Of course, we are at Lincoln's home for the Royals, so keep it tuned right here to your 93.7 The Ticket FM station on the radio dial for everything you need on Husker football, everything you need on Royals baseball. Coming down the stretch, Royals are still out of it, but not out of it. They're out of the picture in terms of current standings, but only a couple and a half games back, with about 26 days left in the season. Sorry about your Braves, Farley. Everything kind of went off the rails early in this one with the injuries. So here's to next year for the Braves.
Same to your Kansas City Royals.
Hey, I just got done saying they're still in it. You can't put that on me. Don't put that on me.
You're not going to sit there and just belittle my Braves in front of me.
I didn't
to
belittle
make sorry about the Braves. We should have beat the Cubs yesterday. Yeah, we should have beat them. We was up 1-0. I was watching a little bit of it, but yeah,
what did I say that in that entire string of words that belittled the Braves?
Yeah, I know, but
not a thing. I know. I like the Braves. They're fun.
They're America's team. They're America's baseball team. It sure is not the case. Who's America's baseball team?
It's the Yankees.
Okay, but we're up there. Kansas City, sure not.
No, they're not. I'm not saying that. I mean, it's the Yankees and the Dodgers are the two.
Yeah.
So,
but
what if I told you, Farley, Ronald Acuna Jr. was supposed to be a Kansas City Royal?
Well, too bad. He's a Brave now.
He is, and that's very fortunate for you. But with all sorts of family ties, I think he at one point had signed with the Royals, or the Royals lost the opportunity to sign him because of baseball's international bonus pool money. They went over, I think, on a free agent signing or something, lost out on just enough money that Ronald Acuna Jr. becomes a Brave instead.
He's going to stay a Brave for the rest of his career.
I wouldn't be so sure.
I hope so.
I hope he is too. But I mean, if Juan Soto can get traded, Ronald Acuna Jr. can get traded.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the same stratosphere of baseball player. Eric says, bleep the Royals. Absolutely not, Eric. Go Royals all year. And of course, like I said, 26 days left. They're almost done. But here's my favorite part of everything, Farley. Everything that happened over the weekend, I think, culminated in today when we heard from Nebraska's coordinators. Heard from Dana Holgorsen second. And he said he was proud of Dylan Raiola for just putting the ball in play. That's a baseball thing to say. Put the ball in play. Let your guys go make plays. Since Dana Holgorsen used a traditionally baseball-oriented phrase to describe football, I am well within my rights to do that as well. So I don't want to hear from anyone on the text line, oh, why are you talking about baseball? Why do you use a baseball analogy? Because Dana Holgorsen did. And if it's good enough for Dana Holgorsen, gosh darn it, it's good enough for me.
I think Dana Holgorsen is more pissed that they scored 14 points more than anything.
Dana was not happy.
Yeah, I know he's not happy with that. And you're looking at an offense that should be putting up around 30, 32 points a game. If you look at all the talent we have with Emmett, Nazir Hunter, Barney, first game jitters, you try to be perfect, but you can't because, there's going to be mistakes in football. That's going to happen.
Indeed. 402-464-5685. Appreciate your text rolling in here. Old Dad 34 chiming in. And Cubs, hey, I appreciate that. Yes, I will find something to hook you up with in return. 0658. Enjoyed the weekend watching Norris send the Scott game into a running clock with a big victory. Yeah, one of the surprises of the high school football weekend, right? Thursday and Friday. Yeah, Norris absolutely dominated. Shout out the Titans for that one. Really off-brand performance from Scott. Curious to see how the Skyhawks develop. But speaking of off-brand, Farley, we didn't know what would be on-brand, what would be off-brand for North Carolina football.
Nah, not
48-14. TCU rolls. They, of course, give up the opening touchdown to North Carolina. They rattle off 41 straight points to go up 41-7. Carolina gets the touchdown from Max Johnson to Jake Johnson, the brothers. TCU tacks one on late. Without knowing what to expect from this North Carolina team and Bill Belichick's college debut, I can tell you 48-14 in a loss was not on my bingo card.
I didn't watch the game like I should have, but once I seen the score keep going up and up and up, it made me not want to watch it. Then I get up and I see his little girlfriend walking to him during the game, which is inappropriate, which is not college football, which should be in the press box or one of the suites up there. Bill has a long way to go to learn this college football game. Not really saying it's his fault, but he's got to rally his troops and get them ready to play. He's the head guy.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he doesn't talk a lot, you have to talk in college football, though. That's my part about it. You have to be a talker, and I don't think he's a talker.
No, that's fair. And maybe it's different there than it was in the NFL. Maybe he's adapted and adjusted. Certainly not quick enough to help last night. CBS Sports put together some kind of crazy stats regarding this debut. Bill Belichick allowed the most points in a game of his career as a head coach.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, now just by one, because Buffalo put up 47 on him in 2021, but still, one game into college, you're giving up the most points. It's the second worst loss of his career, again, by just 1 point, behind only a 38-3 loss to the Cowboys in 2023. He's trailed by 34 points only 4 times in 511 games as a head coach. 4 times in 511 games. And one of them was his college debut. Most points in a season opener allowed by the Tar Heels. Biggest loss for them since September of 2018 against Miami. Mac Brown never lost a game like that in his second stint at North Carolina. How about this then? TCU posted its best team rushing performance since 2022 against Michigan in the college football playoff. That's less than North Carolina stat, more a TCU stat to me. It was a really good Michigan team for a couple of years there, Terrell, and there goes TCU in the regular, not in the college football playoff, putting up numbers on Michigan. And we know that was a surprising upset victory for the Horned Frogs. So good on them for that. Second worst rushing performance since 2016 for North Carolina. Then this is the one that I think stands out most to me. Bill Belichick has made 3 different head coaching debuts. Cleveland, New England, North Carolina. Didn't win a single one of them.
And here's one quote that I seen what somebody said about North Carolina coaches football. North Carolina football, where you go to retire at. You remember Old Man Mac?
Old Man Mac.
Now you got Old Man Bill.
How about that?
So I don't know how long it's gonna last. If he goes 0-12, you think he comes? Well, he probably come back to try to get revenge. But
now his buyout isn't prohibitive by any means.
Yeah.
But there's no way he walks away after just 1 year, right? There's no way they walk away from him after just 1 year.
Hey,
is there?
I don't know. You get your butt kicked like that, it'll make me want to walk away after one game.
2280 says, biggest shock of that North Carolina game was Lopez getting the quarterback start for a Bill Belichick team. He was not good at all. Lopez wasn't great, but to me, it was more the defense, I think, for North Carolina. They come out, the offense does score on the first drive, and then, I know they went into a shell. But that's a decent to above average TCU offense. That's not a top 25 offense in the sport TCU offense that looked unstoppable.
Did they get the quarterback from UAB?
Gio Lopez was from South Alabama.
Okay, yes, South Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you go to a Division II and grab a quarterback?
Well, they're FBS. That's Sun Belt.
Yeah.
That's Sun Belt.
Yeah.
Lopez was really good. I mean, he was one of the breakout stars of last year in a big way for South Alabama. Let me go ahead and pull up his stats just so I know I'm not speaking out of turn. But Gio Lopez was a name that people needed to know last year. I mean, 66% completion, 2,600 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. That's just through the air. And if you look at that South Alabama team, 7-6, end up winning a bowl game, so 6-6 regular season. That's an average middle of the road Sun Belt team that he quarterbacked. And
is that the Trent Differ team?
No, that is, how about this for name? Major Applewhite.
Major Applewhite, quarterback for the University of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Major Applewhite took the South Alabama job. Of course, he was at Houston right before Dana Holgerson got there. Wasn't a head coach from 2019 through 2023, and now is 7-6 last year and 1-0 this year. So an 8-6 overall mark at South Alabama. Here's the other part of the North Carolina conversation, I think, Farley. Did you? I know you said you weren't watching that much, but Kirk Herbstreit put the headset on the dog. Did you see the jokes and memes about that?
No.
I didn't realize that Herbstreit's dog was in the booth with him.
Well, one of them passed away, didn't it?
Yeah,
Ben.
last year.
Was that
Yeah,
Ben?
something like that.
Yeah. How many dogs he has? Oh, my God. But, I don't know. I'm a dog guy myself.
Do you own a dog?
I own 3 dogs.
Do you post major life event pictures with your dogs?
No, because
you're a normal human.
Yeah. I mean, I post them every once in a while. Let me tell you something I did with my dog last night. He ran, it rained all yesterday, so he's outside for 3 hours. He runs back and forth down the fence because there's a girl dog next door. Mm. It's muddy. Mm-hmm. I take some of my body wash and I soap a towel up and I wash his feet off before he come in the house because he tracks mud all in the house. And we had just put down hardwood floors, and it's like going through hell and back. It's like having 3 kids that run in and out of the house. But the best thing about my dog, I'm going to record this though. My dog can open the back door with his teeth, pull it, and let himself in the house. It's a border collie. He's smart like that.
Wow.
And the neighbors seen it the other day because we was all out doing yard work, and they was like, "Hey, do you know your dog can let himself in the house?" I said, "Yeah." Too bad he can't let his brother them in and out because he's selfish like that.
Dang.
He just lets himself out. He'll just push the door to get out, but coming back in, it's amazing. And when you see it,
that's crazy. I need to get on my soapbox here for a minute, and I know that Herbstreit's dogs are with him, emotional support animals and that whole 9 yards. And I'm not saying that I have an issue with that, right? Do what you need to do, absolutely. You know what I do have an issue with, Farley?
What's that?
Dog owners that post like major life event pictures with their dog.
Some people are just dog lovers.
If you get engaged and your dog is in your pictures,
he's the best man.
I lose respect for you.
Dogs can.
If you announce your pregnancy and your dog is there, I lose a little bit of respect for you. Why does your dog need to be there? Maybe I'm cold. Maybe I'm cruel. Maybe I'm heartless. Maybe I have no idea.
I think you are.
But why do you need your dog in the pictures? It's not about the dog. It's about you.
You need a pet, Austin. You need a pet. I
have a cat.
You have a cat. I'm not going to say anything about cat lovers, but
how many cat lovers have you seen
post
their wedding announcements and their proposals and their pregnancy announcements?
I used to be a cat lover.
1,000,000% fewer than dog owners.
I used to be a cat lover, but I turned into dogs.
I don't dislike dogs. I like being a fun dog uncle. And again, I'm not saying you shouldn't love your dog. I'm saying, why does your dog need to be in these major life event pictures? They don't. It's not about your dog.
I told you, I wish dogs can talk because we could have the best conversation. I sit around. I'd rather be like somebody just said this. He said, I'd rather hang out with my dog than people. That's me.
Fine, but why do they need to be in your wedding pictures?
Because they're part of the family.
They're a dog.
I got 3 other sons. And I got 3 sons. I really have 4 sons. I got my boy. I only have 1 son. Then I got 3 dogs. They're my boys.
Okay, but they're your boys. They're your homies. They're your family.
No, they're my kids. I raised them.
I cannot get on board with calling dogs your kids.
Man, they sleep in the bed with me.
I can't. I don't like dogs like that.
Well, one sleeps at the bottom. The other one sleeps under the bed, and one sleeps on the other side on the floor. Only one sleeps in the bed, and that's I got 2 border collies, and I have a miniature Australian Shepherd. The mini Aussie, he's the best one because he's little. The other one are kind of medium sized, but they're my best friends. They listen to me. They follow me around.
Colgan J says, Austin's a cat guy. That's all that needs to be said. People who love dogs get it. Austin, sometimes your texts just need to be filtered through some kind of a buffer before they're announced on the radio. I am not anti Dog. Basically, if you love your dog, you love your dog, go for it. Also, I'm not necessarily a cat guy. I was not the one that pushed for us to get a cat. This cat is the first pet of any sort my family has ever owned. Did not grow up with a dog, did not grow up with a cat. And again,
What you had, a goldfish?
No.
Parrot?
No.
What you had?
No pet.
Yeah, so you had a boring life.
No pet.
You had a boring life.
I had 2 younger brothers.
Yeah,
And so what's the difference? But here's the thing. I'm not saying animal cruelty. I'm not saying mistreatment. I'm saying there is a line that we have crossed in society and that dogs do not need to be in family pictures. Yeah, they're part of the family, but come on, they're not your kids. They're not your kid. If you love your dog the same way and the same amount that you love your son or daughter, no. I cannot get it. You love them a different way.
Okay.
Maybe you love them just as much. I don't know.
Them dogs would protect your kids better than you could protect those kids also.
And you appreciate them for that.
And that's one thing that, because when they see that, I'm just saying, dogs protect kids.
I'm not saying they don't.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Austin.
I'm saying I appreciate them and I respect them.
Somebody said Austin is a dog hater.
Come on, animals should be treated like family. Dogs are way better than people. If dogs could talk, I wouldn't want to be around them. I talk to my dog like he's a human. Cubsker, dogs are family, yes, but there's no need to do all that.
So me and Jake had this this conversation one day. Jake said, if you can have a beer, and you know I don't drink, so but what I'm saying is Jake said, if you can have a beer, who would you want to have it with? I said 2 answers. I said Bigfoot and my dogs, just to see how they have a talk with them. Dogs are lovely, Austin. I mean,
I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying we've crossed a line as a society. McGee, I had a pet raccoon, deer, turkey, cow, goat, all of them. Great. But did you take family pictures with them? Did you call them your child?
Yeah, they're your kids.
A dog cannot be your child. No, they are not your kids. 5124. Austin, if you had kids and they wanted the dogs in one of the family
I got your
pictures,
picture
would
now,
you
Eric.
allow it? Now, I do have one kid, another one on the way in November. No, I wouldn't. It's extra work to cart the dog around. And as much as we appreciate our dog, guess what? They'll probably get their own posts on social media. But we do family pictures, what? Once every 5 years, does the dog need to be there? No. No, the dog can stay in the house for 2 hours while we're out and about taking family pictures. I get that they are a part of the family, but they are not a family member.
They are.
No, they are not.
They are. You've been hanging around Jay too long, man. Jay probably don't even own a cat. Jay is the dog. You know, he's a Great Dane. You know, just the way he look mean all the time. Jay's a Great Dane.
0156. Why does there need to be a line for unconditional love? I'm just saying, if you treat your dog like, if all you have is you, your significant other, and your dog, yes, it makes sense. There's going to be some only child syndrome going on where you love on the dog. But I'm just saying, once you have a kid, I hope you care about and for your actual kid more than your dog. I think we've crossed the line too far for some people.
Somebody said,
and I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to go.
Boy.
Again, I am not a cat person. I did not push for our cat. Just because I own one does not make me a cat person.
I understand that, but I grew up with dogs. My first dog was a chocolate lab, black lab. His name was Jeff. And then my dad got somebody gave us a basset hound. His name was Floyd. And then my dad got a bull mastiff. His name was Debo. And now I have Chief, Bandit, and Cash. My 3 boys.
They're 3 dogs.
Boys.
They're 3 dogs.
When I call them, I say, come on, boys, let's go to bed. And they come. Let's go, boys.
Of course, you call that to them.
Let's eat, boys.
Of course, you call them boys to them.
Yeah.
But they're not your children.
Yes, they are.
Dogs cannot replace children.
They can't, but they're
okay. There you prove it.
They're part of the family. They're like,
yes, they're a part of the family, but they're not a family member.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
All right.
5381. I hate when people drive around with their dogs on their lap. Yes.
I'm not that type of person.
No,
I let down the
do
windows.
Not have your dog on your lap.
I hate people
that is a hazard. That is a danger.
Okay. I let the windows down because my dogs like to stick their head out the window.
Yes, that's wonderful.
But
Who doesn't love seeing a dog with its head
you
out
know
the
what
window?
I hate, though? I hate people that bring their dogs in the stores.
Yes.
And they're not certified dogs. What they call those dogs?
Yeah, the service
Support
dogs. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I go in the store yesterday.
Crack the window, leave them in the back seat. Not that hard.
Dogs are children. Dog hater Austin. That's what somebody said.
Big B, dogs don't judge. They're happy to see you no matter what kind of day you had. They'll greet you with tail wags and kisses, and that's all that matters. Well, guess what? You know what's better than getting your face licked by a disgustingly wet and warm dog tongue? Is getting a hug from your 1.5-year-old son. Da, 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 da. That's incredible. Can a dog ever say da, 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 da? It doesn't hit you the same way. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It just doesn't hit the same. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Crowbait grew up with farm dogs, not allowed in the house, stayed outside. That's fine. 5124. What if my wife wanted the dog in the photos? Well, my wife's not a dog person. So guess what? Don't have to worry about that one. That is crossed off the list. Austin, you keep feeding into the dog pile. Pun completely intended. Absolutely. Yes. Here's the thing. I knew that this was coming. I knew this was happening. Eric, some of us aren't having kids, Austin, Mr. Judgy. Again, if you don't want to have kids, you can't have kids. Maybe it's your choice. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not judging you for not having kids. I am telling you, if you say that you're a dog mom or you're a dog dad or whatever like that, no, you just have a dad. You just have a dog. That's all it is, right? I cannot and will not consider pets children. There is a difference. There is a line. And the animal is a substitute. It is not.
Go on Facebook
child.
And watch and put in dog and baby love. Just go to Facebook. Put dog and baby love. No, just watch how the dog takes care of the baby.
Yes, because it's a dog.
I don't know, Austin. You're strange now. I'm starting to worry about you.
Drumstick. Cats are fantastic. Not a huge fan of barking, picking up poop, walking them. Cats are chill. Yes. I would much rather own a cat than a dog. Like I said, I'm fine with being the fun dog uncle, right? Rudy, not Ticket Rudy, but my brother and sister-in-law have a very energetic golden named Rudy, who I enjoy seeing a few times a year. I can pet him, give him scratches, throw a tennis ball a few times. Don't have to clean up the poop. Don't have to go home to let him out. Don't have to take him for walks. Don't have to worry about him bowling over my child. I'm not anti-dog. I'm anti how we approach dogs.
All dogs go to heaven, Austin. Just remember that.
Great. Cool. I'll see him there. I'll love him. I'll enjoy him.
You know, cool. I wasn't. I hate cleaning up after my dogs, but it's worth it sometimes. I mean, sometimes they can't hold it. You know, sometimes they stay outside all day. It depends what the weather is. But I'm a dog guy. That's if I could take.
You can be a dog guy.
Yeah.
I have no
if I
issues
could take
with
my
that.
dog to Memorial Stadium with me and let him watch the game, he probably would sit in my lap and watch it. He watched me play Call of Duty. I'll watch my dogs watch me play Call of Duty. I'm serious. They eyes be on the game, and they know what time it is. And guess what? Neither one of these have tucked in my headphones, bitten them, or bitten my remote control. Now one of them.
Well, you're just good at training them, Farley. It's impressive.
I'm not a trainer. They know the deal. Much as I scream and yell, they know not to touch them.
Stay away from that crazy guy.
Oh, somebody said I'm
He's
following
almost
Austin
dead.
on Twitter.
Oh, darn. Oh, man. Whatever shall I do? Just kidding. Yeah, I knew this would get people going. It's my opinion. It's my take. You know what? Come at me. I've said my piece.
We already had enough of you right now, Austin. I mean, hey, I'll buy you a litter box for Christmas, okay?
That'd be great.
All right. What kind of cat litter? What kind of food do you feed your cat?
He's on a special diet 'cause he's kind of pukey.
Yo, so
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah,
That's worse than a dog, huh?
No, it's not worse than
He's
dog.
pukey? A pukey cat.
I don't know. We're going to go to break. Brian Munson of Husker Online will be on the horn. Who's going to be on the sideline for Nebraska versus Akron? Give you that answer and more insight from Brian Munson of Husker Online after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm Eli Barnes, Assistant Vice President at Midwest Bank at the 70th and Pioneers and 27th Jamie Lane locations. I love working with families and small businesses right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Banking shouldn't be complicated, and that's why we make it personal. Whether it's opening your child's first account or securing a loan for your next big step, I'm here to help. Stop in today and say hello. I'd love to meet you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Need a tractor that works as hard as you do? Whether you're baling hay or feeding cattle, a John Deere 6M or 6R from Landmark Implement is built to handle it all. And right now, you can get 0% fixed rate financing for up to 72 months on new in-stock models. That's 6 years with zero interest on the tractor your operation depends on. Hurry into your local Landmark Implement or visit landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs has been an trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to it. It is Old School here on a beautiful Tuesday in the capital city. A little rainy yesterday, but it's cleared up. It is sunny and 75 here in Lincoln. We're headed to our Allo Fiber VIP line, where we're joined on a Tuesday at 3:30 by Brian Munson of Husker Online. Brian, appreciate you taking some time after the Labor Day holiday, picking a new day out to come talk with us ahead of Nebraska football's first home game against Akron. How was your long weekend, good sir?
It was good, man. We went down to San Marcos. My son's team didn't fare very well down there against Texas State, but always nice checking out that part of the world. And then watched a lot of football. I mean, up to and including last night and the debacle in Chapel Hill. So that was fun, I guess, because I'm not really a Belichick fan. So that was enjoyable for me. And TCU obviously is across the Metroplex for me. We kind of follow the Horned Frogs over here a little bit, but yeah, it was good. It was happy to be back at work and excited to be talking about recruiting finally without like these theoreticals and who could be visiting. We got a pretty nice little visitor list already on tap for this coming weekend.
Before we get to that, you mentioned the Bill Belichick effect. Of course, your Bills fandom is well noted on this program. Are you disappointed in TCU for breaking the Bills' record for largest, most recent loss, or are you team TCU and hey, records are made to be broken, go Horned Frogs, all that?
If it gets broken again this year, it wouldn't disappoint me. So no, I'm all for that record being broken, and just kind of moving ahead. I think that things got a little exposed for Bill as Tom Brady moved on from New England, and I don't think things have kind of been the same. Nothing taken away from him not being a brilliant mind when it comes to football, but I think college is just a little bit different game. And I don't know honestly what you think you can kind of do when you get 80. What was it, 76 transfers they were talking about last night? Was that the number?
Yeah.
It was some insane number. So 76 transfers, you're just going to go ahead and just take them out like in a bag and just drop them out on the floor and kind of figure out where everybody's supposed to fit and field a team. I don't see the likelihood of a team coming together and gelling, when you have to build it like that. So I think there's a lesson here a little bit, and we'll see how the rest of the season goes for the Tar Heels.
Before we jump into the recruit list and visitor list for Nebraska Akron, Matt Rule last week said a couple different things about recruiting, and I think first and foremost the Kansas City game at Arrowhead Stadium. Do you think that moved the needle at all for Nebraska in recruiting, or will that be something that we might not be able to see pay dividends for a few years down the line when these recruits start talking about it?
Do you have access to my monitor? Because that happens to be the first section of my 3 and out. About how there were 2 very positive outcomes on Thursday night. The first one was obviously the environment. You traveled a couple hundred miles south, you go to an NFL stadium, and you completely take it over. 95+% of the crowd is Nebraskans. And it was very clear listening to the broadcast at home and listening to the fans in the stands. It was very clear that it was dominated by Nebraska. But number 2, and this is like, people are probably going like, well, what's the second thing going to be that he's going to mention? And it's really simple. Nebraska didn't lose. It would have been very difficult, I think, in year 3 to host visitors in week 2 and have to sidestep that, where you didn't win the season opener and, maybe these projections of winning 9 games, 10 games, or so kind of fall a little flat. Nebraska proved that they can, claw, scratch, and scrape and get a tight win for the first time in a long time. And I think that, people can kind of go back and go, well, the special teams part seems to be addressed. It looked pretty good. Offense was efficient, effective. Defense, limited Cincinnati, but overall maybe didn't perform, I think, as some people might have hoped that they would have in year 3, but they still got the dub. And I think that would have been a very, very difficult thing for Nebraska to kind of have to avoid or have to address on a per question, per recruit basis, this weekend. I think that they should be happy and feel fortunate that they don't have to, because everything now is still in front of them. There's still a momentum here. There's no identity crisis. There's no reason to kind of go back and doubt things and whatever. You can still go out there and address things and move forward. But I think if there would have been a loss, I think that kind of takes all the wind out of the sail until you kind of get things reestablished. Now, at least everything is still established.
The other part about recruiting that Matt Rule's talked about a few times over the last couple of weeks is just how important it is to get Nebraska's brand in front of potential recruits. And obviously a game like the one in Arrowhead Stadium does that for Nebraska national TV. And I think, like Matt Rule noted going into the game, or maybe this was yesterday coming off the game, it's a different network because that was a Cincinnati home game. It was on ESPN, and Matt Rule noted that, that's an SEC lean in a lot of ways in terms of the way that they've slanted their coverage. They obviously own the SEC network, and that's the primary media partner there, and for the ACC as well. So Matt Rule, announced that, he'll be a weekly guest on Pat McAfee on ESPN, but also the launch of the House Rules podcast that he's doing. Brian, do you think that both of those, the podcast and the Pat McAfee appearance, do you think those, will pay any actual dividends for Nebraska? Or is that just potentially lip service to, I want to do this. I think it could be good for the program. We're going to give it a try.
No, I think it will. I mean, I think that, number one, it gives folks another source to maybe go kind of vet Matt Rule and figure out, like, if he's, the same behind closed doors as he kind of is out there in public, or is he, is he a snake oil salesman? Is he the kind of guy that, you can't be trusted, because you get him behind closed doors, he'll tell you one thing, go out there and talking out of both sides of his face a little bit, right? And I think Nebraska fans have been very impressed with Matt Rule going back to the, basically that day after Thanksgiving a couple of years ago when he was announced as the head coach in the first place. I think that he's said the right things. I think people are very excited about how he conducts himself. I think that they know he works extremely hard. I think to go ahead and pick up a couple more things for the good of the brand and keep pushing it out there, it gives people an ability to kind of understand more about Matt Rule. I think the other side is too, and this is something I kind of thought about. Imagine if you're the parent or the friend of a potential recruit, and you get a chance to go visit Nebraska for a game, and you get a chance to kind of, get sidebar with Matt Rule, and you ask him about one of the points that he made on McAfee or his podcast for clarification, or suggest something else, or say this was really interesting. I think that those are the moments that he loves, because I think he's going to take these topics that he gets asked about, behind those closed doors, and bring them into the light. I think that recruiting is a private process that I, along with my readers, have an ability to kind of get taken along for the ride with the recruits as much as they'll tell us. And I think that there are still those private moments. And I think that some of those private moments could see the light of day here a little bit as he kind of feels like it needs to be addressed out there in the open. I look forward to those kinds of moments and those kinds of conversations with him.
And I think the House Rules podcast specifically, I think it's going to get a rap from some people. Oh, it's so filtered. Oh, it's so basic. But I don't think that's how Matt Rule communicates, right? He's not going to give away state secrets, but at least to this point, through 2 years and change since being hired, I'm willing to give Matt Rule the benefit of the doubt that he's a honest, genuine, straightforward communicator who's not going to pull many punches, especially on his own little deal.
No, I agree with you completely. I think that his honesty and his transparency out there, it's not. I've not really felt like in any moment that when he's out there talking that it's just coach speak. I think that there's his nuggets have value and what he's saying, and he's given it great thought, and he's not just going to go out there and kind of give you the regular line that you go back and just say, okay, that's just a coach speak answer. And, I don't point the finger, I point the thumb, and whatever else you want to kind of bring up. And that's a bad one just because picking on Bo, but it's the only thing that's coming to mind at the moment. But I mean, the cliches so far have been gone with him, and you ask an honest question, you're going to get an honest answer. I think that's what's been so kind of refreshing about the guy.
We're talking with Brian Munson of Husker Online here on our Aloe Fiber VIP line. To business, Brian. Nebraska Akron, first home game of the season. Night game, that's usually good in terms of the number of visitors and type of visitor Nebraska can get. What is the list looking like for the Huskers on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm tracking about 15 names right now. Steve Wiltfong produced an article this morning. I got a couple names that go above and beyond like what he's got. I mean, there's some 2026 guys coming back, like Dayton Raiola and Jace Reynolds will be there. Both 2027 commitments will be in town, so Trey Taylor and Torrey Pittman will be in town. Then you also get your couple of other in-state offers in the 2027 class. So Matt Erickson, Kylan Haney will be there. But then you start getting into some really, big-time dudes, and they're mainly in the 2027 class. So you get like Edge KJ Green from Stone Mountain, Georgia. He will be in town. You get a pair of wide receivers that'll be visiting. First, Matthew Gregory from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, who happens to be a 4-star wide receiver, and Jacob Thomas, who's from Miramar, Florida, who will also be in. But I thought what was really kind of interesting, and we've talked about the importance of summer camps. We talked about the importance of the Battle of the Boneyard, the huddle recruiting orientation, and all that good stuff. And you're already kind of seeing, the fruit of that labor paying off in the first home game. So Nebraska will host, and this is, I'm not misspeaking when I say this, 2029 quarterback target Christian Cipher from Carrollton, Georgia. And he was there. He played for, I think it was Hustle Inc. was the name of the 7-on-7 team when he was there for the Battle of the Boneyard. Picked up an offer like shortly after the tournament there in Lincoln. He's also holding offers from like Florida State and Arkansas. But yeah, this is a guy he's doing the math with my son. He's a 9th grader, and that's pretty wild when you get a 9th grader coming in to spend some time with you on a visit. But I mean, this is a 6'1", 180-pound signal caller already as a freshman at one of the premier high schools, or is becoming a premier high school in all of Georgia. Carrollton it's funny because I have relatives there, and it's kind of a quiet town. It's got a Zaxby's, and maybe a Shoney's too, now that I think about it. But the fact that it has elevated itself to be in one of these schools that just perennially has, one of the top players in the country is just kind of fascinating to me, just because I'm so aware of where it's at. So yeah, very, very interesting. So Christian Cipher will be there, verified this morning, right after Wilt Fong dropped his name. So we'll have more of an official look of the list on Thursday afternoon. I'll drop a list on Thursday afternoon.
HuskerOnline.com for that. Brian Munson _ on Twitter. I just can't get over the fact that you said 2029 recruiting. That doesn't even seem like a real year.
Hey, you're telling me, man. I mean, that's wow, 55 years after I was born.
But who's counting?
Not to really date myself too much there, but turning 51 on Tuesday next week. So it's doesn't seem possible. And just heads up, there might actually be a younger recruit than that in the stands. It's a 2030 recruit actually on Saturday as well. So little teaser for everybody.
Man, that's crazy. Well, for the guys that are actually in years with numbers that we can conceive of, say 2027, and maybe even beyond, who are some of those important guys that, whether they're here this week for Nebraska, Akron, or could potentially be visiting, who are the important ones for Nebraska to make a big impact on while they remain at home through mid-October?
So Albert Simeon's another guy that'll be there this weekend, and he's a big one to keep track of. He has been back to Nebraska now multiple times. It's either been 3 or 4 times. I'm trying to think now. He was back for summer camp and the huddle orientation. I think he was there one time before that, and now he's here at least for a 3rd visit. And where he is currently at, kind of in like the Rivals rankings, he's about 2 or 3 spots out from being a 5-star interior offensive lineman. So keep a really close eye on him. I know it's down to not down to, but I think LSU and Nebraska, appear to be the top 2 contenders for him. And that's a very, very big one for Nebraska. I think they're in a good spot. And staying in Louisiana, Ahmad Hudson, who is a 2-sport athlete recruit for Nebraska. He's also being recruited to play basketball. He is one of the best, if not the best, kind of athletes in the country. He's being looked at to play tight end, but also might actually play some wide receiver for Nebraska. He's very close with Trey Taylor, very close with Albert Simeon. The Huskers are doing a great job recruiting him. He's out of Ruston, which is where Louisiana Tech is at. So there's a long way to go here, and I know there's a lot of schools that are going to step up. LSU is certainly not going to be easy to to keep away from either one of those two recruits, regardless how far away they are from Baton Rouge physically. But I think Nebraska could not be in a much better position with those two guys right now, still being that they're out there and uncommitted in the world. But I think with Simeon coming in this weekend, great sign for the Huskers. Hudson has told me he will be back this fall. He just doesn't know when. What's going to get really interesting, too, is him potentially traveling for a basketball game. So you're going to have more than one reason to bring him back. He's also going to have want to come back and check out a basketball game because he is very serious about playing both sports in college.
That's a 4-star power forward as of now, right?
4-star power forward, 5-star tight end. So very talented individual.
9 stars across 2 sports. That's that'll get the job done. That's Brian Munson of Husker Online. Like he said, stay tuned for the official visitor list as we get closer to kickoff Thursday. Most likely there, HuskerOnline.com and Brian Munson _ on Twitter. Brian, thanks again for bumping back to today. A lot of great stuff in there. As always, appreciate your time.
Talk to you next week.
That's Brian again with Husker Online, joining us on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Lots of great stuff going on at Allo, including Allo Fiber now being the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. At Allo, they believe in the power of connection on the field and in our communities. Partnering with the Huskers as the official internet, TV, and mobile partner is about more than technology. It's about bringing fans together with reliable, future-ready service they deserve. Big shout out to our friends at Allo. Congratulations on being the official partner of Husker Nation in that way. We'll be back to wrap up Hour 1 of Old School momentarily.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Need a tractor that works as hard as you do? Whether you're baling hay or feeding cattle, a John Deere 6M or 6R from Landmark Implement is built to handle it all. And right now, you can get 0% fixed rate financing for up to 72 months on new in-stock models. That's 6 years with 0 interest on the tractor your operation depends on. Hurry into your local Landmark Implement or visit landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's.
Herbstreit's in the drive-thru again.
Oh, hey, Kirk. What can I get you today?
I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers that are real difference makers. Sprinkle cut fries with dynamic ridge patterns, Texas toast, and cane sauce with an air of smugness that comes from knowing you're the best. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel. Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School. Lost Norman with you, Jay Foreman. Just around the corner, he'll be here for hour number 2. Short segment here, but going to be a valuable segment for you. $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line. We will give $30 to our friends at Wings and Rings away to texter number 7 with the right answer to this question. Who was Nebraska's leading rusher in the 1997 Nebraska-Akron football game? Who was Nebraska's leading rusher in the 1997 Nebraska-Akron football game? 402-464-5685. Texter 7 with the right answer will get the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Some basketball recruiting news that is pretty timely, actually, with Brian Munson there from Husker Online mentioning that Nebraska is still well in the mix for Ahmad Hudson out of Louisiana. Obviously, he's a football guy, but also a basketball guy. Well-rounded player, kind of a scoring-oriented wing so far. His 24/7 bio says he was the Ruston Daily Leader MVP and the Louisiana District 2 5A MVP. As a sophomore, he averaged 21 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. Had a 28.29 rebound game against West Monroe, 19 and 15 against Richwood. All-state player as a freshman. So darn good basketball player that, as a friend of the program, in front of the Corner 3, Jacob Bigelow said Fred Hoiberg still kind of chasing the ghost of George Niang in some ways from his time at Iowa State. Could Ahmad Hudson fill that role? Remains to be seen. Nebraska's obviously got to get him on campus and got to secure the commitment. That would be a huge, huge commitment for Husker Hoops to be able to secure. Obviously, they're going to be working in tandem with the football program to secure the talents and services of Ahmad Hudson. That, to me, could be a Bryce McGowan's level get for Nebraska. And before you say, well, that didn't work out very well for Nebraska, I think the program is in a much healthier, much more stable spot. And I think that, again, this is not a knock on Bryce McGowan, but a versatile, do-it-all, ball-handling forward is something that Fred Hoiberg really knows how to work with, as opposed to kind of a project shooting guard like Bryce McGowan, who did only have 1 year here in Lincoln And like I said, it was mostly, I think, on the program, just the state of college basketball at the time. I would feel much, much better about Nebraska's chances to maximize Ahmad Hudson compared to what they had with Bryce McGowan. Nebraska doesn't miss out on Jacob Weber, a kid who played for Kearney last year. He ends up committing to Purdue today. Second top 100 guy the Boilers have pulled in. And Jacob Weber, the highest rated prospect that Purdue has landed since Caleb Swanigan back in, I believe, 2015. Swanigan was the top 10 guy in the class. Weber is a top 35, borderline top 25 guy with Nebraska ties, but I would not necessarily consider him a Nebraska kid. Grew up for the most part in Arizona, moved to Kearney last year, I believe, for I think it was his dad's job. Don't want to speak out of turn, but then actually transferred out to La Lumiere in Indiana to be obviously closer to Purdue. That's kind of become a mini pipeline for the Boilermakers. So too bad that Nebraska misses out on him. I wouldn't consider him an in-state miss necessarily. He really just had a pit stop in Kearney and did a good job for the Bearcats. Let's go to our Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line here for the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Who will we be giving it away to? We have texter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, 8934. You are the winner of the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Correct answer. It was Scott Frost who led Nebraska in rushing against Akron that day. 11 carries, 123 yards, just edging out Amon Green. 9 carries for 102 yards. Frankie London, 5 for 79. Carell Buckhalter, 11 for 62. Nebraska piles of 472 rushing yards on top of 172 passing yards. Huskers fumble 4 times, only lose 1 of them in a complete domination of the Zips. Final score in that one, 59-14. We will go to break. Jay Foreman rejoins me on the other side. We'll talk about what we heard from Nebraska football's coordinators and more in Hour 2 of Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's.
Herbstreit's in the drive-thru again. Oh, hey, Kirk. What can I get you today?
I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers that are real difference makers. Crinkle cut fries with dynamic ridge patterns, Texas toast, and cane sauce with an air of smugness that comes from knowing you're the best. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
M-Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. Go bold this summer and fall with endless possibilities. Stop in now for the best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coats, dress pants, and dress shirts. M-Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to it, hour 2 of Old School, 402-464-5685. If you want to be a part of the show, we'd love to hear from you. We're with you for another hour ahead of the teammates timeout with Demo and Ash. It'll be just that dynamic duo coming up from 5 to 6, so stay tuned for that. Speaking of dynamic duos or potentially dynamic duos, heard from both coordinators for Nebraska today. Heard from Dana Holgerson and heard from John Butler. We'll get to them, their comments here in just a second. But first, we need to let you know Old School sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. You can check out their selections online at themercadobutcher.com or at any 4 of their local locations. Those are 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, as well as 168th and Maple Streets up in Omaha. You can get to the Mercado today for the best meats in town. All right, let's hear from Dana Holgerson first. A couple interesting answers from the offensive coordinator. Let's start with his assessment of his quarterback, Dylan Raiola. What did he make of QB1's performance in week 1 against Cincinnati? Here is offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson.
Yeah, that was a mental error on Dylan, the 4th and 2, in the strike zone. Okay. That's 4 down territory. That's a go for it. Although I'll make that decision. Coach Rule makes that decision. But down there on the goal line, we ran that play. And it's a bang, got to make a decision thing. In third and 4, he handed it, and we had the look and just called the same thing with conviction, man, and just said, just execute it, And I told him to ride it just a little bit longer, so that gave him just a hair longer. But Dane popped, and it was obviously pretty good for our football team that we punched that thing in.
The first 4th and 2 that he was talking about was the one near midfield. Said it was there. Dylan just made the wrong decision. Wishes he had that one back. And then I thought it was interesting hearing Dana Holgerson there at the end talk about just how quick Dylan Raiola has to make a decision in that moment. And yet Dana Holgerson's advice is don't rush it. Be slow, be smooth, be steady, be patient. Hold the ball there just a beat longer. Let the defense commit. And then the play should open up for you. Jay, let's welcome you in. Jump right off on that. Dana Holgerson telling Dylan Raiola on the 4th down conversion that went for a touchdown, hold it at that mesh point for just a half second longer. What does that do for a quarterback? And where is he looking when he's holding the ball out there for his running back?
Well, I think you're reading, obviously, it's kind of a little bit of a RPO, and you're going to read the defensive end, but then also you're reading essentially, the coverage, and that's whoever they deem is the guy that they're reading, right? And so you're just playing off his leverage.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm playing outside leverage, you're going to look for an inside route, and I'm sure
The in-breaking slant that
right.
Key ran.
So you got to be like lock and step with Key, and that's what you practice. Okay, if he's inside leverage, we got to get out. We got to get to an outside route like that. So we used to call that. It's a modern day version of an option route. We used to call it a NIF or fin route. So the way that you used to get to this, I guess I'll get to my point is the things that they're doing now are just a different dressed up version of what I used to face.
Mm.
So you would run play action, aka RPO, direct to you, onside backer, nickel, or whatever. And then here comes Wayne Cabret, excuse me, and he would be optioning route off of me or Julian Edelman or whatever. Now, it's a little bit longer developing, but you would run essentially we used to call it snake motion. So you have an on-point guy, then he's running essentially full speed at me and reading my leverage and then bouncing off of me or faking bounce off of it and cross his face touchdown.
Mm. What can you do?
Well, damn Dallas Clark. It's the same thing that happens. I mean, so you
can jam him at the line, be more physical.
You can what Dana and everybody's talking about is that if you can hold it for it's literally a millisecond, like a half a second, not even half
a blink,
and you get any hesitation, he's wider open and an easier throw, an easier read, and you make him commit. You're just trying to get them to overcommit because things happen so fast down there. And he is
one little step.
He is right. It's from a defensive standpoint. You don't want to be jumpy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to be overzealous. You want to, like I always say in basketball, you play fast, not in a hurry. So if I overextend myself on a route or in a jam, it's easy pitch and catch.
It's over.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know I got to play inside leverage, I know down in the red zone, you're not going to get a whole bunch of fakes. You got to go and then you got to play through the offensive player. I have a better chance of interception, pass breakup, so forth. But if I essentially tell you what I'm doing, his read is easy and the pass is easier. And the catch is obviously you probably end up on Sports Center.
Mm-hmm. Big emphasis on explosive plays. Heard about that last year with Dana Holgorsen. He addressed it again earlier today. Here's the Husker OC.
He did what we asked him to do. I didn't want to start forcing things downfield into 8 people covering, right? So that was the game plan, okay? And so it's a combination of what the game plan was, but it's also a combination of, like I said, downfield blocks, springing people. We had the ball 3 times in the open field and fell down. I saw people falling down out there today. So staying on your feet, being athletic, making people miss. I mean, it's a emphasis of where I'm at right now because we have to become more explosive, and right now we're just not.
I like that from Dana Holgorsen. I think the one that comes to mind for me, maybe gets a slight excuse given how really the first play of the game went for him. Corey Barney gets folded in half on that first tackle, but then Jay gets like slapped on the thigh pad and goes down.
Yeah.
Jacory's now the biggest guy, but no matter if that's a linebacker or a defensive back, you got to be able to take a hit on the thigh pad, stay up, and keep going.
If I hit him, he's going down.
Well, of course,
no,
but you're Jay Foreman.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, it is, breaking tackles, run after catches, yards after catch or whatever, or excuse me, yards after catch, run after contact, however you want to do it, is huge. Got to make people miss. You got to break tackles, and then you need downfield blocking.
Dana Holgorsen on Isaiah Hunter and Dane Key, the 2 transfer wide receivers. Of course, Dana Holgorsen known for coaching wide receivers in his past. Here's Dana Holgorsen on the contribution from those 2 guys.
Yeah, I was pleased with those guys, other than the lack of explosive plays, and so we're just going to keep talking about it until we get it, but I thought those guys played, they did what I knew they were capable of doing. There's always more. There's always more. I want 6 catches turns to 8 catches, 60 yards turns to 100 yards. From an efficiency standpoint, I just, we were 11 of 20 on critical downs. I mean, that's 55%. Our goal is 50. We got down in the red zone and we punched it in twice. in man-to-man situations, which we didn't do that last year. And so those guys would have the ability to win one-on-ones. Very, very pleased with that. Both of them made great plays in the end zone. You know, the one time that we had to kick the field goal down there, it's unacceptable to every level known to anybody that's watching it. You can't jump offside. That's been addressed. Okay. But even if it's 1st and 5.5, you got 3 plays to be able to punch that thing in. And all I talk about is finishing drives with touchdowns. I don't ever want to kick a field goal. You know, that goal is at about 70%. We were 66, so happy with the 2, but wasn't happy with the 1. It's just lack of execution, 3 plays in a row. Lack of execution, 3 plays in a row. Had to kick the field goal.
A couple good things there, I think, from Dana Holgorsen, Jay. I mean, number one, it sounds like an offensive coordinator with an edge. Oh, yeah, it's okay. We'll get him next week. No.
Oh, no.
You got to be better. That is Dana Holgorsen with an edge. I mean, happy with the 2, disappointed in the 1. Lack of execution. That can't happen, you know, at every level known to anybody at football with the false start on the 1. And put that in conjunction with the same quote about Dylan did what we asked him to. I think Dana Holgorsen is ready and hoping the teams give him a chance to open it up a little bit more, because I think that he wants to give his guys the chance to make explosive plays, but also he says, guys, they're there anyways. You just got to go start making.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the equivalent in basketball, and a team pops a zone on you, and you don't have 2 or 3 zone concepts to free up a shooter, free up a one-on-one on a rotation. You're not flashing, and kids are coming over and say, well, they're running zone, so we can't drive. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, right.
Right. You know, so look, I like it. You know, you're not going to get to what Nebraska said, get to where Nebraska says they want to, where they want to go without pressure, without expectations, or better yet, a standard, and a high level of execution, no matter what they're doing. Sure, they ran zone. They essentially ran essentially 8 deep, 8 guys in coverage. So you're not going to just be able to take the top off.
Unless you're the random Tyreek Hill, Hail Mary against the Cowboys, where you have 4 blockers out in front of you, and then that's a miracle.
Or or against the Bills or something, against my Bills.
That's why I went with the Cowboys example, Jay. That's why I did that.
It can happen. But what you can do is run your routes in practice or in competitive situations, and learn what I think is what he's saying is, when guys are on the ground or whatever, now you need to learn how to practice Monday through games on Monday through Friday. I'm thinking the NFL, Monday through Friday, whenever you get a chance at game speed, because when you get in the game, it's second nature, and you'll be able to keep your footing, and then you'll be working on, breaking tackles, run after catch, all that stuff. I'm going to tell you this, and I know Coach Dana has coached and Shorts has coached receivers and played or whatever. I remember one day when I was in Buffalo, I wasn't a rookie, because it actually maybe in my first or second year, and Peerless Price was a draft in my draft class, and he had played at Tennessee, and primarily made a name for himself going deep or whatever. And Charlie Joyner, who's in the Hall of Fame, was giving a seminar on run after the catch. And Charlie Joyner was not a big receiver.
No.
But Eric Moles was.
Mm-hmm.
And Andre Reed was there too. So it came from the knowledge of Andre Reed and James Lofton from before, passed down to Eric Moles, then to Peerless Price, Jeremy McDaniel, and all those guys. And he made it so simple. I watched it so I could tackle receivers better.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing when, and it really was essentially 2 hard steps right there, and then cut back and hit the sideline. And he literally mapped it out like an Excel worksheet. I'm dead serious.
I believe you. It's just funny to hear. I believe
he brought it out. He brought it in, and if you know Charlie, he brought it out there, and it was like, well, if you break this many tackles per game, you get this many yards after the catch, and you do this after this, you'll easily have 1,000 yards. And that's when Peerless and Eric Moles went over 1,000 each, and they were those two together. And Peerless went off to Atlanta and got paid like a number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so that you just got to. This is the thing, is like where they're pushing these guys. You got to constantly work on your craft. Football is a game of constant work. It's 24/7, 365. Nobody wants any excuses. You got to get better. It's like, I saw like Coach LaFleur for the Packers. It's like, you don't like your situation, get bigger, faster, stronger, or study harder and get better at what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, because you never know when that play is the play.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing you do know is if you're not prepared.
Right. And there's no helping that in the moment. You're helped ahead of time and you're ready to go, or you're not, and you find out real quick.
Yeah, because you're like, dang, what could I have done? And you don't want to be like, all right, now I'm going to do it.
Pain and discipline, pain and regret.
That pain and regret is like no other. It's something that you have to do constantly, depositing things for the hope that what you've been working on, you get to do it in prime time.
Without the promise of being able to do it in prime time. Nebraska did, at least for one night, improve against man in the red zone. Dane Key gets the win on 4th and 2. Isaiah Hunter catches the fade. Jay, just how big is that for Nebraska to at least give itself a chance with guys like that in the red zone one-on-one?
I think, well, first of all, I think you have Jamal Banks and Isaiah Nair on steroids with these two. Now it's early, so let me just say.
And Nair's a little bigger than Hunter, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to play bigger.
But I'm talking about what they were supposed to do. Now, I think Hunter, at least in this game, showed me something that I didn't expect because I felt like he was just moving into Nair's type of
ball speed route. Yeah.
And that's what you expect. The freshman, Cal. But listen, he's got the body type. He can fight for the ball. He's shown it, makes some contested catches. Awfully competitive. Dane Key the same, right? But they're just a little, maybe a lot of it, but just just a step up from last year. Not taking anything away from them two.
No.
And and plus I think Dane and Hunter and even Barney, you get a better, ideally a better version of Dylan. They got the freshman. And there's nothing wrong with it because he, handled himself, very well as a freshman. Now you get a guy that's in lock and step with his coordinator, and they have more time to work with each other. I'm sure Dylan's probably, like took them and they worked, went and worked out together. I think Hunter, showed you something. You got to think he was challenged at the beginning of camp. You got guys on your, on your heels.
Yeah.
So he took that challenge. So to let you know he's competitive, and then he showed up big. That over-the-shoulder catch, there was like 19, 20 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good catch.
That's another one Dana Holgerson pointed out, stays on his feet, maybe he can get it. No, bust that into a full touchdown.
To a 40-yarder, whatever.
Instead of 19, which still a nice catch, right? Adjustment, back shoulder, go get it. But it's just those little things, not being able to keep your feet. And I know you're twisting your body. I'm not asking him to be able to, but if he were able to.
Yeah, and that's and that's the difference, I think, also. And I know this because I played in that stadium. It's a slick surface. Even back when I played there, like in college, it was slick.
Gotcha.
So I think that just comes from, I think also like it comes from the excitement of being in the game. It's like almost like basketball. You get it and you get a stupid travel, like, the time that you might see LeBron or Kobe or Jordan to get a travel where they actually call it, like that ain't gonna happen. Where you're a little too amped up, and so, and plus you got to think Cincinnati, if the way that they were playing, even in man, they're closer. They're not. They're not just like
they're not pushovers. They're not scrubs.
Yeah. So they have been preparing for Nebraska as Nebraska been preparing for them. So you're gonna get their best shot.
Want to let you know about our friends down at the Lincoln Children's Museum. Football game days are fun for the whole family, but not every kid can sit through 4 quarters in the stadium. If that sounds like your kid, Lincoln Children's Museum has the perfect option. Game day play dates for kids ages 5 through 12. While parents enjoy the game inside the stadium, kids get their own game day experience at the Lincoln Children's Museum. It includes all sorts of fun activities geared toward the theme of football and being active. Drop-off is 90 minutes before the game. Pickup is 60 minutes after the game, even if it goes into overtime. Affordable, convenient, just steps away from Memorial Stadium. Registration required prior to game day. Reserve your spot now at LincolnChildren'sMuseum.com. Jay, I think it's also worth throwing out Carter Nelson. Matt Rule brought him up yesterday. What is Carter Nelson up to? How's he feeling? Here's this from Dana Holgerson.
He's just now getting his legs underneath him. I mean, he didn't do anything for 6 months, and so, he was on a rep count early in camp. Just over the course of 5 weeks, that rep count has gotten up to the point to where now he's not on a rep count. I think week 3, we were not pleased with how he was running, and he was just dead legged and just trying to get him underneath himself. I mean, that's hard when you don't do anything for 6 months. But now he's back. I see what Carter is now. Okay, so now it's just about the opportunity. It's about logging the reps. It's about putting him in position, putting him in the game. I think he got 5 reps last week. That's not enough. He's going to get more. And I'm excited about what he can turn into.
There's that on Carter Nelson. And then also Dana Holgerson on the running backs, right? We heard yesterday Matt Rule gave Dana Holgerson the freedom to make the call with the running back rotation. Is there the potential for more reps for running backs 2, 3, and maybe even 4 this week against Akron?
Have to. The way that game was, it was close game, hard fought game. He was rolling, man. He played his tail off. So proud of him. Ran hard, was good in pass protection, was good in the passing game, minus the one drop, which I've never seen him drop one pass in practice, let alone, in a game. So, player of the game in my mind, so tight game. You got 2 freshmen on the sidelines. We handed the ball to Isaiah twice early, and it didn't look good. He's still trying to figure things out, and just with his veteran presence and the way it looked out there, he just kept going, and so I don't regret that. I mean, we got to do what we got to do to win the game, but yeah, that can't keep happening, and so, Ives got to get going. Makai's got to get going, Ike will continue to improve in that area. So I don't care who we play this week. That has to change.
First of all, love calling Isaiah Mosey Ike. That's kind of funny,
Yeah.
but it just didn't look good. He's got a way to go. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, Emmett Johnson was asked to shoulder the load. Dana Holgerson said, ideally, no, but shout out Emmett Johnson, his player of the game, for stepping up and taking on the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, you saw this the 3 or 4 games, last year towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You saw his touches and his production go up, and that's probably what gave them confidence to allow him to be, RB1. And I mean, I have probably a little bit better background on Emmett because obviously I know him and knew of him long before he got here. He's a competitive kid. He's worked for it, and that's what you want guys to be able to step up when you need them the most. That's what leadership is. That's what a competitor is. Yes, ideally, you want the guys that you've seen do good things in practice and scrimmages and all that stuff take a hold of the backup role or backup roles, and so you need them to perform in the games, and they need to go back to work this week. And probably with Mosey, he had the one, I think, when he went going to the left. The thing is, people always ask the difference between high school and college and the pros. Like the holes close up faster, and so you got to stick your foot in the ground and get upfield. And sometimes you can try to play too perfect, overthink things in that milliseconds or split second moments, and I think he'll learn from it. And I think that I think one or all of them will play better week to week, because there's going to be a time where they're going to have to step up, like Emmett has had to step up at times last year. And you got to get in where you fit in.
We'll finish off this segment with this from 5162 on the text line. Speaking of explosive plays, I thought Emmett would have developed into a home run hitter, but instead he looked like a bruiser and didn't go down on first contact. Jay, do you think that's going to be more valuable for Nebraska than explosive runs?
Well, I think explosive runs, one is obviously comes from the line, and then situation, which is what I mean by that is the coverage and the opportunity. Obviously, if you're in man-to-man defense and guys are getting ran off, and then you get good outside blocking, it's easier to hit it versus zone, and everybody has eyes. Part of the zone is keeping everything in front of you, including the run. the knock on Emmett was, can he be physical enough to run behind his pads? Well, he showed he can run behind his pads. There's probably some cuts and runs that he probably thinks that he'd like back that would have been more explosive. I think sometimes, I know for a fact, whether it's fans or people that talk about football, yes, you want home run hitters. Listen, the TCU game against North Carolina last night is an outlier. Home runs come from two things: poor tackling / bad technique
/ missed assignment.
Yeah, and now the next one is missed assignment / you're pretty much out leveraged before the ball's even snapped.
You're playing 9-on-7.
Meaning they have 4 blockers over there. You have 3 defenders.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason it doesn't become an explosive run is because the running back didn't earn his money.
Or Jay Foreman cut through the block, made a tackle, and still got yelled at on the sideline. But
that too. But still, so that's, everybody just thinks you got to get out of this like 4th grade Pee Wee League type of mentality. Get the ball and Johnny runs around the side and he's just fast. That's not happening. These guys are too.
All of them are good enough athletes.
Yeah, it doesn't happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to go and things got to set that up too. Like previous runs situation. We've seen Florida State, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was, the big run on the reverse, which is an explosive run, was set up 2 quarters prior, but consistently running the same formation, same type of action, and then you hit the big one.
Florida State did. Can Nebraska remains to be seen? We'll hear from John Butler here about his assessment of Nebraska's performance against Cincinnati. Tad on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. We see your question. We will get to that as a part of next segment. Come back with us on Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rick Heyman here from Starter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at starterheyman.com.
Starter Heyman Jewelers.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option: Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through September 2nd are $1 off buns, 15% off cheese and crackers, 10-ounce grass-fed, grass-finished New York strips for $17.99 each, and steakhouse burger packs for $13.99. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North, with locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hey guys, it's Nick. We had a great week 1 high school football matchup where Lincoln North Star got the 14-10 win over Lincoln Southwest, but now it's time to turn our attention to one of the best rivalries in Nebraska. This Friday at 8 p.m., join me and Jay Foreman for Lincoln Southeast versus Lincoln Southwest. Southeast is coming in off of a dominating 30-0 win versus Grand Island, while the Silverhawks look to get their first win of the 2025 season. Kickoff is slated for 8 p.m. from Seacrest Field, with pregame coverage beginning at 7:45. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night for Lincoln Southeast versus Lincoln Southwest, right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to it. It is Old School with Foreman and Orman, with you for another 26 minutes before the teammates timeout with Vimo and Ash. This segment of the show brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows, based out of Hallam, Nebraska. They offer a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. They're locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today for more information at 402-430-3852. Or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Jay, defensive line. We'll get to Tad's question here in just a sec. Let's hear from John Butler, his assessment, first and foremost, of the defensive line as a whole. What does he expect from that unit moving forward? Here is Nebraska defensive coordinator John Butler.
I think you guys heard me say it last week when I said the defensive line, it's not a thinking man's position. It's a get off the ball, create a new line of scrimmage, get off blocks, make tackles, be disruptive. I think sometimes at times we were a little bit too fit oriented, meaning am I in the right place? Or maybe the processing wasn't going as fast, but your D line has got to be a bunch of guys that just freaking go and think about things later. And I don't mean play reckless. I'm just talking about getting off the ball, creating a new line of scrimmage, and I think that's something we're going to be preaching with all of our front guys from now until the final game of the season.
That goes to Tad's question, Jay. Your take on the defensive line and their performance. What can they do to make a jump and match the rest of the defense?
Oh, I just think in those situations, I think you do what happens is, it's all self-inflicted, right? It probably has to, play with better leverage, or hands. Get off is huge. Not overthinking it is probably even the biggest thing. I always talk about Jason Peter. I mean, he was, hey, people just don't really. I know Ndamukong Suh is the dude. I'm just telling you, I've seen this man do stuff to some guys that are in the Hall of Fame that just it was just get out of the way. You know what I'm saying? And so I think you just got to stop. Don't try to be so perfect, because when you have hesitation, you end up not playing to your abilities anyway. So go out there and just play. Go out there and wreak havoc. And it starts with the get off. Because if you get off the ball violent with good leverage, heavy, violent hands, get extension, it doesn't really matter what gap you have because
You've made your own gap.
You're either put the lineman in the gap that you're supposed to be at, then the running back's going to run to you. It's essentially you could just make it easier. Now, sure, if they can pin down and all this other stuff, but I think Cincinnati is rather simple. I think I said this. I've been a victim of it. I've done it, so I can speak on it. So it's not even talking about them. I know what it's like when you play in your first game. I know what it was like when I played against Oklahoma State on a Thursday down there at Stillwater.
Did you hear Mike Gundy talking about playing Nebraska on a Thursday?
No. What did he say? Oh, yeah. When we had the shirts up. Oh, yeah.
Sure,
We showing you the
their
halves.
defensive linemen all the way
through. Oh, yeah. We was up there. We was up there with the half shirts. Yeah, you know what time it is. We had the six-pack going. But sometimes you do a little peekaboo. You play a little too high. Then you go back to work and you realize, okay, I had missed 15 opportunities in the game. I could have had 7 tackles. I only had 4. Those 3 tackles you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it really comes back to just playing the way that they're capable of, and it starts with the fundamentals. And the biggest fundamental in the defense, one of the biggest, is getting off the ball. I mean, I'm talking about there's a guy named Keith Millard who played when I was a ball boy for the Vikings. Defensive tackle, 3 technique. I think he might have led the league in sacks, and the Vikings had a really good. They used to high booty, and they love to get their shoe spat. So you'd be in a track stance. So they were just surging off the ball. You think about the Colts with Dwight Freeney and Matt. They were just
undersized-ish,
but getting reestablishing. So Dwight Freeney, who was about 260, but Mathis was about 230. Maybe 40.
Mm-hmm. More outside linebacker than end.
But he played in.
Yeah.
How was he able to do it? Getting off the ball and literally just resetting the line of scrimmage. That's probably what Coach Butler's talking about.
You mentioned Ndamukong Suh. I didn't realize he had, for a couple of years, this was from Spotrac just today. For 2 years, he was the highest paid non-quarterback in football in terms of average value per year.
Yeah, well, when he came in the league, he was.
Well, actually, this just goes back a decade, so maybe it was true in Detroit. But when he got to Miami,
he got
2016 and 17, he was making $19 million a year, which was the most of any non-quarterback in football.
Yeah, he was getting his egg.
Mm-hmm.
House of Spears was house of stuff.
So let's maybe not compare Nebraska's defensive line to him quite.
No, what I'm saying, I was talking about Jason Peter and people. Ndamukong is Ndamukong.
Yeah.
Well, homeboy could get. I mean, it was just. I mean, because Jason's 6'5". Same with Ndamukong.
Mm-hmm.
Them dudes were playing low. I'm talking about forklifting dudes and throwing them out of the club. Benji Olsen, Olin Kreutz.
Dudes.
Yeah, Chris Neoli, just giving them all. Matt Leps is getting them all. It was the can man. Anybody could get it.
Let's hear from John Butler on Riley Van Poppel. Not a starter. Not a black shirt, but a single digit. What does Riley Van Poppel have to do to take the next step? Here's Nebraska defensive coordinator John Butler.
I think it just comes down to 3 things. It comes down to, is he playing as hard as he thinks he can? And then we got to make sure if that's how hard you think you can play, we're going to get you to play harder. Physicality at the line of scrimmage, getting off blocks. I think with all of these guys, we're not singling out anybody. You just happen to ask about one of them. That's to me where our biggest step in week to week has got to be from week 1 to week 2 is our ability to get off the ball and get off blocks, because that's what really the run game is all about. Whatever call that's made, it's getting your hands on the blocker, getting off the blocker, getting to the ball carrier. So that's I think something we're going to be emphasizing with our front 7, really the front 6.
Don't want to read too much into it. It's one game. You got what you think is a lot of players that you like. Riley Van Poppel just ended up not being starter. But Jay, I don't think it's an accident. I don't think it's just coincidence that the first part was the first part.
Yeah,
he playing as hard as he thinks he's playing?
Yeah,
that never sounds good.
Hey, yo, hey man, I wouldn't. Hey, I could. Woof. You question. I can't speak for him, right? But If I'm talking to him, I could just tell you about my own experience. I just remember when I was inactive for a game. I think I fought every single period for a week. I hated everything and everybody, and I was and I was taking it out in practice.
Mhm.
But you know who I was really mad at? Me. Because as much as it stung and I was mad at the decision. Now there was other factors, and it was an NFL where we had a rash of offensive line injuries.
Mhm.
I told myself I'll never be in that position again. Never.
And you weren't.
Nope.
And that's where, again, I don't want to read too much into it, but I do think there's something there to keep in mind. Because especially think about this too. Riley Van Poppel coming off the red shirt last year and then still being voted a single digit. Clearly the team looks up to him. So my hope is that
they're trying
Riley
to
Van
motivate
Poppel is trying to be, is kind of getting called. I mean, he was asked about, right? John Butler didn't bring him up and say Riley Van Poppel needs to play harder.
Nice.
And that would have been one thing. He was asked about Riley Van Poppel, but that was the first part that came up. So either Riley Van Poppel's got to pick it up to live up to the potential that the fans and his coaches think he has, or it is that motivational tactic. Riley, we know you're playing hard, but you can play harder. You are the tone setter for this room. Pick it up because we believe in you.
It's the second part, and it's a positive thing, but you got to get over the negative instant reaction.
Connotation. Yeah.
He's poking you.
Mm.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you this story about Mike Minner. Okay, I like Mike. Now we're cool now, but I'm telling you,
we're cool now. I know where this is going.
Well, no, we're adults now. But he challenged me, and the worst thing you can do is poke somebody in the chest. At least for me, right?
In the moment, it's the worst thing. Might be the best thing.
Well,
because
I was getting ready for the Oklahoma State game. My brother was nervous, and I was a little scared. And I was a little apprehensive, like, am I really ready for this? Practice is one thing, game's another. So we were on a Thursday. We had this like little mesh shirts on or whatever. We couldn't afford spiders, we didn't have no NI. I wasn't that like big like I am now or whatever. And he was like, "Look at you, man." He's like, this, and this. He's like, "Are you tough enough to play with us?" Like,
not are you ready? Are you tough enough?
Yeah. Right. Now this is 2 days before the game. Now, so we, right? But then other people around, I didn't, look, my dad was like, "Look, just let your pads do the talking. Don't say nothing." I mean, I'm a freshman. As fast as I could drop that helmet, I was like, "Let's go. Right now. Me and you." I said, "Let's see." So he was just seeing. He was challenging me. He
taking your temperature?
He was checking. Listen, and the temperature was at 100.
Hot.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's like, in a good way, if he takes it the right way, he's telling you, we need you to play at the level that you might not think you can play at. Not game 6, right now.
Tomorrow in practice. Today's done. You can't get it back.
And he's also telling them, there's an opportunity for you right now to take over the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
So the initial reaction, because I know how I would have been. I know when Reggie did it to me. Heck, I tried to fight the man in front of 80,000 people in Houston. And I had messed up. But the thing is, then when he asked me and I was hiding a knee injury, and he asked me about it, and he was put in, and I had a real bad knee issue going on, and my neck was killing me. And he was like, "Man," on the phone, he was like, or in the press, he's like, "You look soft." And I could tell you, I cussed him out to anybody that would pick up the phone in rush hour traffic in Houston for an hour. But then after that, we had the bye week. I got healthy or healthier. And kind of got, come to Jesus with myself. Rest is history. This is a pivotal moment for him. 6'5", 290-something pounds. Hey, get some ephedrine. It's whatever you need. Get you up your gas or whatever it is. Some 5-hour energy, Red Bull, or a combination of all of them.
Going.
I'll be seeing red.
Nebraska, Akron. 6:30. We'll keep talking about it throughout the week. We'll go to break.
Is the game at 6:30?
6:30, late game.
I thought it was 8.
6:30 game. No, high school games today.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
High school games today, Nebraska and Akron at 6:30. We'll be back, wrap up Old School momentarily.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through September 2nd are $1 off buns, 15% off cheese and crackers, 10-ounce grass-fed, grass-finished New York strips for $17.99 each, and steakhouse burger packs for $13.99. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
Anybody know a good electrician to call? Here's a suggestion. Just call Bryant. The Lincoln company you've trusted for over 70 years with air conditioning, heating, and plumbing is also the company to call for an experienced, licensed electrician to change a light fixture, install a fan, upgrade your electrical panel, or solve any electrical problem. Call 467-1111 for a free estimate or schedule an appointment. Also schedule online at BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Whatever it takes.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're wrapping up Old School with Foreman and Orman. I am the Orman. He is the Foreman. This segment brought to you by Love Volleyball Nebraska. Get your tickets today to see national champions, Olympic champions, and, of course, former Huskers all take the court for Love Volleyball Nebraska, LOVB.com. Jay, Bill Belichick got quite the welcome to college football last night.
Yeah, man, that was tough to, I guess, see.
You seem heartbroken.
I was surprised. I mean, I'm sure the talent level isn't what he wanted, obviously. But they did make a bowl game last year with Mac Brown.
Yeah.
They did have a first-round pick.
They did.
Their running back. I'm sure they had other guys drafted. It wasn't – you did not just take over.
You did bring in like 70-some transfers.
Yeah.
But still.
That was a choice.
It was.
They just defensively, first of all, if you miss that bad on the quarterback, that's the result. Now, I think it's a big step up for that young man. I think
from South Alabama.
I think he'll get better, right? I think they need to find ways to create more separation with the receivers. I think it felt like they ran the ball well. It was too much of the Patriots, tight formations, no motion. So they got to open up the playbook. But defensively, that was bad. They need more talent. But
good at TCU offense. Not that good.
Yeah, but also TCU went back to the lab and did what Dabo did. So we're gonna get more physical, whether you like it or not. And it showed, right? But defensively, schematic wise, they were out leveraged every single time they had good runs. And when they did stop them, somebody made a phenomenal play. So that's more on the scheme and on the adjustments, which you expected to be phenomenal. Okay, so you go into halftime down 20-7, right?
And then Kirk Herbstreit comes out of the break saying this is going to be a big drive for the North Carolina defense.
And before you can even take a sip out of your Coke or whatever, your ginger ale,
strike up a band.
Hey, man. Did old boy, his body type, he was fast though.
He was moving.
But just looking the way he run, did you expect him to pick him up and put him?
No. I thought I got Marshawn Lynch vibes.
But no, he had the second gear. Yeah. And he had perfect running for him. And then it was open the floodgates, boy. That's a hard film session to be in from a coaching standpoint, a position group standpoint, a position coach standpoint. They need to go back and look at the scheme and where guys were in the lack of adjustments because they were out leveraged a lot, let alone they need more talent.
Who is the most fixable? Arch Manning, Alabama, or North Carolina?
I think Arch Manning. He was the closest. You just got to take that. This is my man Dave from Renew.
Hey, Dave.
He's circling the block on me. He wanted his steak. I just like that I ain't in last place.
Nobody circles the wagons like David wanted a steak.
Arch is probably the closest. Alabama is second. But they're asterisks by them as if they want to.
That's what I'm saying. It's the Alabama want to versus the Carolina scheme with less talent.
I think Carolina will get a fix. I can guarantee you they're going to fix the problem. And I think the moment was really big for a lot of those kids. You know, Jordan's in the house, LT's in the house, Roy Williams is there, I'm sure they've been around.
Mia
practice.
Hamm is there.
Yeah, they've been around practice forever.
Mhm.
It was a big step up for a lot of those guys.
And they kind of biffed it. Really biffed it.
TCU turned the gas off.
Most rushing yards in a game for TCU since the 2022 Michigan playoff game.
Whew.
Think about that.
That's including you had LaDainian at one point.
Well, I'm just saying since. They might have rushed for more with
Oh,
LaDainian
yeah, okay,
Tomlinson,
yeah,
but
yeah,
at least
yeah. But
that's
still,
both a
that
Michigan
was-
stat and a North Carolina stat.
That was everybody was getting there.
Mm-hmm. Whiteboard Wednesday tomorrow?
Yeah, we're gonna get something. We're gonna get something going on.
Excellent.
I don't know. We can't find none with Akron.
So we'll watch some Nebraska Cincinnati.
Yeah, we'll
What can
do
Nebraska
something.
do?
Well, you know what? Might even do a little North Carolina.
Hey, how about that? Coming up tomorrow during Old School. Big thanks again to the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. We will be back with you tomorrow 3 to 6. But for now, Teammates Time Out with Demo and Ash is next on the ticket.
Hi, I'm Casey Oddie, and I'm the retail